shall always fight for our rights.
Luta,
Continua,
Victoria,
Asata,
great over the people.
great.
So we'll be asking Comrade Yemi to read the text of the press conference, and then we'll be getting speeches from all other people on the item. So,
Okay. I greet everybody. Good morning. The purpose for our gathering today is what we are putting first, and then afterward we now deliberate on the decisions and the stance of the community and of the movement as well. So here is the joint press statement of the Federation of Informal Workers Organization and the Take It Back movement over the forced eviction, demolition and displacement of close to 10,000 people at the Oworonshoki area of Lagos State by the Lagos State government. Ladies and gentlemen, men of the press, greatest Nigerian people, we, the undersigned organization, condemned with strong vehemence the ongoing demolition of homes and displacements of poor families at the Oworonshoki area of Lagos by the Lagos State government. The demolition and burning of people's houses started on the 24th of July 2023, as at the last count, no less than 10,000 people, including women and children, have suddenly become homeless as a result of the demolitions that have affected the following communities: Precious Seed, Mosafejo Idiaraba community, that's Precious, Koka, Okeeri, Odunfa, Lone, Agbara Jesu community, and Ogoluwa. Sadly, these communities have now joined the over 30,000 victims of forced eviction. Needless to say, provision of security, welfare, and shelter is integral to the fundamental aims and objectives of governments. For many years now, the Lagos State government has failed woefully to meet up with these objectives. According to a report by Business Day newspaper, Lagos accounts for about 5 million out of a total of 18 million housing deficits in Nigeria. Anyway, as I further mount in this, I will say that this implies that the so-called commercial center of the country accounts for more than 31% of total housing deficits in the country. Hence, rather than increasing the already embarrassing statistics of homelessness in the state through thoughtless demolition, the state should massively invest in low-cost housing projects. Unfortunately, the regime is deliberately throwing close to 10,000 of its citizens to the streets at the time the country is grappling with unprecedented level of hardship occasioned by the astronomical increase in the price of fuel. This is not only very thoughtless, it is also an act and a severe act of cruelty. Forthwith, we call on the Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led government to put an end to the ongoing demolition exercise and onward compensate, including resettlement of the thousands that have been unjustly displaced, made homeless, and without property. We refuse to be the lamb that is sacrificed on the altar of insatiable greed of an elite minority. We can't continue like this as a people, and therefore we stand against this. Signed, Federation of Informal Workers Organization of Nigeria and the Take It Back movement. Solidarity forever. Take it back. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, the General Secretary of Federation of Former Workers Organization, Comrade Benga Akomalafe, will be speaking now.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Solidarity. I will just try to put what has happened in Iyanaoworo in perspective. That this is not new. This is not the first time that the Lagos state government will be involved in whimsical eviction of citizens, law-abiding citizens of Lagos State. As far back as 2016, my organization actually did a field survey of evictions in Lagos State. And we discovered that actually since 1999, specifically, over 60 communities have been demolished. And hundreds of thousands of Lagos State citizens have been whimsically evicted without any offer of alternative provision. The 2016 survey we did was focused more on markets. We also discovered that 42 markets, as at 2016, had also been demolished. These are markets, including the popular Tejuosho that we all know about, and we know what they replace it with. And we all know the fact that up till now, that place is almost empty. This tendency towards gentrification, displacing poor people to make way for the super rich, mostly politicians, who have stolen public funds and now want to invest the public funds in these spaces occupied by working people. It's what we call gentrification. Must stop. And it's only Lagosians that can stop it. Nobody will come from anywhere. That's my message for you. Nobody will come from anywhere. And it's only when we lift our hand to fight that God himself will help us. If we keep quiet, God will be looking at us. These people are deaf and dumb. Me, I'm tired of talking to deaf and dumb. My message is to you that are affected and to all our people that are yet to be affected, that we should all rise up and say enough is enough. As of 2016, over 250,000 market women and women have been displaced. And when they review those things, did they resettle them back there? And yet they don't want street trading. So this kind of oppression must stop. And we must demonstrate to these people that we are not slaves. We are citizens, we work, we pay our taxes, and we must enjoy the right and respect of citizenship. Like he said in his speech, Section 16(2) of the Nigerian Constitution guarantees the right of every Nigerian to shelter, among other things. And that is why responsible government invests in what we call social housing. The Jakande government continues to be a point of reference in this regard. Within 4 years, the Jakande administration built 16 estates. One of them was just the biggest housing estate in the whole of Africa, the Abeson housing estate. And they eliminated homelessness and slum dwelling for a whole generation in Lagos State. For 23 years, the few houses these people have built can only be bought by themselves. Who among us can afford 63 million? Is that not how they are selling their own houses? The few houses they are building. So we say that this must stop, and it must stop with you. You have a right to decide that it will stop with the Iyanaoworo community. Every victim of Iyanaoworo, of this latest demolition in Iyanaoworo, must be compensated fully for what has taken place. And of course, we will not tolerate further eviction in that place until we get to a situation where they did in some other parts of the world, where people actually show to government that people have a right. If they don't understand it, though they swore by the Constitution of Nigeria, but they seem not to understand the provision of that Constitution about the rights to citizenship of Nigerians. We, citizens of this country, also have a right to stand up that we are citizens, we are not slaves. Enough is enough. The demands are clear. Those who have been directly affected must be compensated. And of course, we will not tolerate further evictions. I will not delude you to say that this is going to be easily achieved. But I'm going to assure you that it can be achieved if we are resolute and are determined that it will be achieved. If they can award themselves how many billions? About 120 people in the House of Assembly. 110 billion naira. 120 people also. So they can't tell us there is no money. So they must compensate those who have been affected. And in the long term, Lagos State government must invest in affordable social housing. It has been done before. The Lagos State government did it. The federal government of Nigeria did it. Gowon Estate, is it not affordable housing? Even Shagari, Abi, is it not in this Lagos? Why is it impossible for them to build houses for working people? So this is what has happened in our history. We don't have to go to Japan to cite examples. We've had examples of affordable social housing in this part of the world. And if these people cannot do it, they must explain to us why it's impossible for them. The only thing they know is how to steal people's land and cede it to private developers. This continual theft of people's property for private individuals must stop. And it's only Lagosians that must stop it. My call is not to government. Our demand to them is clear. My call is to all of us, Lagosians, that we should begin to stand up for our rights. And that enough of these people taking us for granted and treating us as slaves in our own land. Thank you.
Another round of applause. Take it back.
Okay, my name is Iyanaoworo. I'm the national coordinator of the Take It Back movement. So not to repeat what has been said before, it is obvious that what the Lagos State government is currently doing is, unfortunately, criminalization of poverty. And it is the kind of poverty that is inflicted by the same regime due to various anti-poor policies, including many years of imposition of hardship on the poor people of this country. I remember, as an organization, we intervened when this market at Ikorodu, I can't remember the name of the market now. There's a market at Ikorodu that was also demolished. Sabo market at Ikorodu. But that was in 2017. In fact, the Lagos State government, as at that period too, was rather invested in mass demolition of homes and markets. And I think then they demolished Yaba market too. Okay, that's where it's at the Tejuisho market. But we intervened particularly at Ikorodu, and I can tell you for free that many people lost millions, lost properties worth hundreds of millions. Until date, very few, lots of these people, so many of these people have not been compensated. But indeed, as people of Nigeria, as an organization, we can no longer allow the government to get away with this spate of injustice on our people. And it is the reason that as a movement we have, beyond other campaigns and other activities, that we are going to do to ensure and press and make a demand on the Nigerian state to ensure, number one, that our communities the communities, and especially people who are victims of this demolition, are compensated and appropriately resettled in decent accommodation. And we are not going to do this just with all social campaigns. We are also, as of now, as I said, we have directed and instructed our legal department to file a class action on behalf of the community to insist and press home these demands and ensure that the Nigerian government, the Lagos State government, does not get away with this injustice it has done to the people and poor people of Ogoronsoki. So I will end there now. Thank you.
Thank you so much.